Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Finance Santai. This week we'll be still talking about how to get out from your comfort zone. Alright, once again I would like to thank everyone who have commented on my videos, my Facebook, like and share it with your friends. Please do continue to do it. I'm very open with any subject or any discussion that you guys want to share with me. Once again, please like and share this video if anyone around you who you think will benefit from this video. All right, so let's recap from episode 2. All right, so I think from last week I stated regarding the how a human always find excuses or they complain a lot. I understand every Singaporeans do that. Yeah, but let's put into a context of a work self. Yeah, so if we are at work, some of my colleagues or my ex-colleagues, not only from a previous job or from my previous job, there's a lot of them. So most of them, they're always been complaining about on how they have to work so much, how they get paid so low, how the management is so bad, this kind of complaints that they always say. All right, so it still comes back to the pointer that I bring up last week, that it still comes back to you. So if you think that all of this is bad, then just quit and find another job, right? So they have been complaining and so long that even before maybe before I was born or something, right? So maybe they've been working there for 20 plus years. All right, so maybe that point of time when I joined them, I was still young, and I think that maybe it's a normal thing to do, to complain about it, right? But as time goes by, I start to move around. I think it's a bad habit actually to do that. If you don't like something, would you like just stay there? All right, so what they always do is they will find excuses. I have a family to feed, I have kids, I have house to pay, I have a car to pay. Right, I understand all this, but the thing is, if you are not happy with the job or you're not happy with anything, right, so why would you stay? Right, try to find an alternative ways to get paid much or find a better management. Right, everywhere in the world that I go so far, there was not always once there's a good management. All right, so they always, even if you have a good management, maybe you work there for so long, maybe you will never know, in another 10 more years or 20 years the management change, and then that's it, you have a bad management, right? So it does mean that you constantly have a good management at all time. All right, so another thing, pointers that I discussed last week was, I was giving an example of how a bird, all right, who come from a cold country, all right, cold weather, and maybe during winter time, all right, maybe during October or something, they will fly to any soft country, and then they will stay there until the winter has passed, and then they will fly back to their destination or where they used to live, right? So all of this is a bird. They are catered to do this every few months. All right, depends on the weather, they will migrate here and there, right? So they have maybe like 3 months, every different type of what they call it, weather, they will move around towards it, right? So but as a human being itself, right, so we can just plan ourselves, okay, maybe this week or maybe next month I want to travel. Like, you can choose where you want to travel. You can choose to go to Southeast Asia, you can plan to go to Europe. All right, maybe this year I want to have Christmas in New York or something, right? So you fly to New York, you don't have to fly to another Southeast Asia country, to celebrate your Christmas or something, or for New Year eventually. Yeah, so we as human, we do have a lot of choices to make, and then we can cater all this into our work life actually, right? So if you guys think that you have a bad, or you are being paid low, all right, so just recap yourself on which part of yourself that you can put in to change into a better career or to upgrade yourself and moving forward, right? So just don't just stay there and keep on complaining for years and years and years. Okay. All right, so that's for the episode 2 of my recap. All right, so let's move forward to episode 3. All right, so this week I'll be talking about a human brain. All right, so first point that I wanted to bring up is about human brain. All right, so we cannot comprehend negativity. All right, what do I mean by that is a human brain. All right, we are set to protect ourselves. All right, so people do whatever it's safe. Okay, so if we think of an obstacle itself that we are going to face, okay, we will only think about the obstacle. We don't see any alternative path to go through the obstacle. You don't find a way to do it. So we always keep on thinking, oh, this thing is bad. I have to think it's so bad that I can't do it. All right, so you always think that your brain is programmed that way. So you will always have to find in any way, right? So if you really need money or you really need extra cash, so what do? If your full-time job doesn't give you an overtime, or maybe during this pandemic period it's bad that your company cannot pay you much, but they at least give you a basic. All right, so what we can do is find an alternative way, find a part-time job after work, or lower your expenses in another way, right? So these kind of things that we can change to it. All right, so if we only think of the obstacle is always there. All right, so what we can do is, if we always think of the path towards the goal, and then we will go towards it, doesn't mean that the path have to be straight. It's always, in life, there's no straight path. There's always right, there's always left. Then you have to think again, oh, is this path good? So these kind of obstacles that you can think of. All right, so if you think about the path and you go bit by bit, like a little by little steps that you take, at least you are moving towards the goal that you are going to, right? Rather than you just think of the obstacle, you just complain. All right, so then you take this obstacle to find an excuse for yourself. All right, so we have human brain. All right, we cannot comprehend negativity on that. Okay, so second point that I want to bring up is it's easy not to face the fear. All right, so it will be much more easier, all right, to not face the fear, and you don't have to think about the fear, how to get out of the fear from your head, all this kind of thing. So we don't want to be uncomfortable. All right, okay, the only way that you can stretch yourself is by getting out from your comfort zone. All right, even better with a little movement. All right, so even a little stretch doesn't mean that you don't move forward, right? So even if you're taking a small step, doesn't mean that you're not going towards it. Okay, I hate the feelings of rejection too, right? I hate the feelings of failing, but that's how I think I grew, right? So if we fail and then we move forward, we don't think of the failing. Although we fail a lot, like every time, we still have to proceed and move forward to it. So by failing and failing and failing, we take this as a learning lesson. Okay, so don't take it negatively that you are dumb or something, that, oh, my brain cannot study anymore. This is most of the time that I heard from my friends saying that, oh, I'm too old to study, this kind of stuff. I'm too dumb, or 10 years, 20 years already, I never go school. I don't understand. So each one of us has the strength to do it, whether they want it or not. All right, so don't use that as an excuse. Okay, so third one, I also cannot blame, because we do study. Actually, we already this thing is already been our habit since we are young. All right, so one example that I want to give, when we are in school, okay, we are in primary school or secondary school, okay, we are not allowed to have any mistake. Like, everybody have to be perfect, discipline. All right, so I understand the meaning of discipline. Like, you want them to come to school early, make sure that you're disciplined, make sure whatever teachers say you follow. All right, so it's good for a kid at a certain age, but this habit, you can take it positive one, you can bring it out to your life, to your working life, but wherever is negative, please, you have to put it out there, right? So let's take an example. Even if we what do you call it, if you take exam, right? So if you take exam, because if you take MCQ, of course there will already one answer to it, right? So if we choose another one, we are wrong. Okay, so but in real life, especially, we don't talk about MCQ, right? In real life, when we talk about an answer for your life, there's always different path to take. Like if this path doesn't work, change, move to the next path. If this path doesn't work, change, move to another path. All right, so on and on and on. Okay, so if we are in school, okay, we are not given the opportunity to be interested in something, right? So let's say unless you say in CCA and all stuff, that you can play your sports that you like, but sometimes you don't have what you like, you don't know what you like, so you try everything, right? So all these kind of things we can put it into consideration of you don't know what you are doing, or you don't know what you want to do, so you try a few stuff, right? So these kind of things that we want to do. All right, so they only teach us in school, they only teach us whatever that they are required to teach, right? Instead of asking what you are interested in. So we take this habit out from school, and then when we are working outside, and then our brain just paralyzed and just go with it, right? So this kind of things that we have to input, that we have to take at least 2 step backs every time. All right, so if you think that we are not moving forward, take 2 steps back, think again of why is this thing happening, recapping yourself. People always have this habit of like going home, and then they will just chill out, watch Netflix and all stuff. That is not wrong. It's not wrong, but just don't do it all the time. Like even myself, I do that too. I do watch TV. All right, it doesn't mean that you always have to do it daily. All right, like daily, like maybe you can watch it like 3 times a week, but just make it short. But input in between, just add on, like do your own research, do your own studies, recap yourself, write down whatever that you have done today, what can I improve on today, all this kind of stuff that you can do. So take 2 steps back, recap again of how can I do it better. All right, so by this way, I mean, if we take this 2 step back, I guess in future, anything that we do doesn't mean that you are always right. You are always meeting people, right, surrounding. Okay, let's just give an example. Yesterday I just finished meeting my client at a coffee shop itself. So after finish all the discussion, my client went off, and then I wanted to do my work there for a while, so I get another tea. And then while doing my work, this uncle beside me was asking me, "Oh, I saw you were discussing just now what we were talking about." All right. So I was telling them that I was doing. Oh, I'm doing financial services. Yeah, I'm doing financial planning for my friends. And then he was my ex-colleague, and now I'm moving forward. Yeah, the only thing that he always say, I mean, he's not young. He really, he's retired, maybe. Yeah, so he said to me like, "Oh, this kind of job, it's not good. Always ask people to buy, but you never get back." So, it's a negative thing. But I was just smiling to him. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's good." I was just telling that, "Oh, the market is good, not so bad." I mean, people starts to think another way around now. So as a financial advisor, maybe for his part, maybe he have gone through a very bad experience, I don't know. But for me, what I have learned also from the study itself, that it benefits everyone. That's the reason why I moved towards it too, right? So if it doesn't benefit me while I was studying, it doesn't benefit people surrounding me, my friends and family. Why should I even persuade them to do it in the first place, right? So I was just smiling. I was like, oh yeah, I mean the market. I was just diverting this negative input in him, and they say, oh, the market is good. I mean now people start to change their mentality of how insurance is, and then straight away I give him my name card, right? So I give him my name card. I don't know what he's gonna do, but what he have given to me is a negative thought. All right, so for me I was like, if you tell me last time, I'll be like, I'll be just burst. It's like, who are you to tell me my my job is not good, right? So but I take it positive. And also because of my work, also we always have to take all this as a obstacle, and then find a way to get in or distract them into a way which we always think positive. So what I do, I distract him, say, oh, the market is good. I mean, everybody have to change. The world is moving, and then I just hand over my card. That's it. So after that, he stops talking all this bullshit to me. Right? So he was talking to me as a normal person. So he put himself same level as me, and then he talks to me like a normal person. Oh, how long have you been doing this? As because he says the same race as me, so he was asking me of what I do before, how long am I in this market and all stuff. So all this still come back to the pointers that I want to say to you guys, that everywhere you go, when you meet this kind of person, or you find an older person, for sure they will give you this bombardment to you. They will give you all this rejection. Although he's not my client, it's an outsider who was just sitting beside me, and he was listening to what I discussed. But yeah, I mean, we have to go through all this day by day, right? So that's what I want to discuss for this episode. Let's move forward and meet you guys next week. On this week, maybe. Yeah, this week. Let's move to episode 4. And once again, please guys, if you want to comment, and please do, and please like and share this video. Alright, thank you, bye bye.